Question 251. If brakes get wet, it can cause them to. Answers: A. Fall off the vehicle. B. Apply unevenly. C. Rust immediately. D. All of the above. The correct answer is B. Explanation: unless there is something seriously wrong with your brakes, they will not fall off your vehicle. However, getting them wet will cause them to apply unevenly, work weakly, or grab, all of which can be dangerous. Question 252. What is the minimum age to receive a CDL in the state of Hawaii? Answers: A. 21. B. 17. C. 25. D. 18. The correct answer is A. Explanation: while other states may allow individuals to drive certain CMVs, such as farm equipment, due to exemptions before the age of 18, Hawaii allows only residents 21 and over to receive CDL privileges. Question 253. Which of the following commodities can you not legally transport intrastate in Idaho without a DOT medical card in your possession? Answers: A. Fresh fruit. B. Christmas trees. C. Canned pineapple. D. Bees. The correct answer is C. Explanation: CDL holders can transport certain goods within the state of Idaho without having a DOT medical card in the driver's possession. While these goods include Christmas trees, fresh fruit, and bees, it would not include a preserved fruit, such as canned pineapple. Question 254. Which of the following happens upon first conviction for being under the influence? Answers: A. Lose CDL for 1 year if DUI while driving personal vehicle. B. All of the above. C. Lose CDL for 1 year if DUI while driving CMV. D. Lose CDL for 3 years if DUI while transporting hazardous materials. The correct answer is B. Explanation: as the holder of a CDL, upon conviction for DUI, you will lose your CDL for 1 year, whether you were driving a CMV or your personal vehicle. If you happen to be transporting hazardous materials, the amount of time goes up to 3 years. It's not worth drinking and driving and losing your job. Question 255. Operation Lifesaver states that. Answers: A. You should follow several steps to never get trapped on a railroad track. B. You should not operate a boat while drinking. C. You should follow new speed limits to not harm law enforcement officers. D. All of the above. The correct answer is A. Explanation: Operation Lifesaver is part of a plan to cut down on hundreds of railroad crossing accidents that happen each year. Follow several careful steps that include looking both ways for a second train after a first one, not getting closer than 15 feet before crossing, not racing the train, and not going around crossing gates, as well as other life-saving tips. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 256. Which of the following is not included in inspecting the front of your vehicle? Answers: A. The condition of your front axle. B. All of the above. C. Watching air pressure gauge. D. Testing your steering mechanism for possible looseness. The correct answer is C. Explanation. You keep track of your air pressure gauge, other gauges and temperature levels from the dashboard inside your cab. When you inspect the front of your vehicle during your walk-around, you should check the front axle and steering mechanism. Question 257. Common medications for colds are. Answers. A. Are fine, as long as you use them carefully with plenty of coffee. B. Perfectly safe and legal. C. Are illegal to use while you are operating a CMV. D. Have warning labels indicating they shouldn't be used with your CDL. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Unfortunately, your best plan is just to get through your cold by drinking plenty of fluids and resting, because over-the-counter cold medications have warning labels indicating they can all cause drowsiness that could make them dangerous for CMV operators. Even if you don't feel sleepy, a split second of slowed reaction time could cause an accident when you wouldn't have had one without the medication. Question 258. Truck drivers are in an ideal position to see and report human trafficking that can often occur at truck stops and rest areas. Which of the following trafficking red flags should you look for? Answers. A. An individual who does not know where they are or about the community around them. B. An individual not in control of their own travel documents, such as a passport or driver's license. C. An individual who seems tense, afraid, or otherwise nervous. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Trafficking victims are often moved around, may be victims of physical, sexual and forced drug abuse, and may be forced to work in prostitution. If someone offers you temporary companionship, ask them relevant questions, take descriptions of relevant physical characteristics and vehicles, and offer assistance. Do not approach possible traffickers, but call 1-888-3737-888, US, instead. Question 259. How long will you lose your CDL privileges for a second offense of DUI in your personal vehicle? Answers. A. 1 year minimum. B. 5 years minimum. C. Life. D. 2 years minimum. The correct answer is C. Explanation. You will lose your Iowa CDL privileges for life if you are convicted of a second CDL offense in either your CMV or your personal vehicle. While driving a CDL, a back of .04 qualifies as DUI, whilst a level is .08 or any level that causes unsafe driving or an accident for personal vehicles. Don't drink, drive, and lose your paycheck. Question 260. Which of the following states does Kansas not have a signed farm vehicle reciprocity agreement with? Answers. A. Oklahoma. B. California. C. Missouri. D. Nebraska. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Kansas has signed reciprocity agreements extending their farm vehicle CDL exemptions to all of the states mentioned, except California. To make sure you have the complete information, though, you should check the Kansas Department of Revenue website. Question 261. Which of the following drivers are exempt from needing a CDL in the state of Kentucky? Answers: A. Drivers of recreational vehicles used for camping. B. Drivers of emergency vehicles. C. Drivers of farm vehicles used within the Commonwealth of Kentucky. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation: there are several exempt groups in Kentucky, including military drivers, emergency drivers, RV drivers, and farm drivers, as long as each meets certain requirements. Check with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for a full list of exemptions to stay on the right side of the law. Question 262. Which of these are you not responsible for when it comes to your cargo? Answers: A. Recognizing possible overloads. B. Ensuring the freshness of sealed cargo. C. Inspecting the cargo. D. Making sure that cargo is properly secured. The correct answer is B. Explanation: when dealing with sealed cargo, you are not responsible for the state of the cargo itself, and you cannot inspect sealed cargo. You are only responsible for the safety of the cargo, ensuring that it is balanced, not overloaded, and does not get in the way of emergency equipment. Question 263. Your fingerprinted background check must be within how many days for a CDL renewal, according to the Louisiana CDL manual? Answers: A. 30 days. B. 90 days. C. 180 days. D. 365 days. The correct answer is C. Explanation: in order to renew your CDL, you must have completed your fingerprinted background check within the most recent 180 days before your renewal. Otherwise, you must have it redone. Question 264. Which of the following requirements must you meet for a military CDL driving test waiver? Answers: A. Can only hold a license in 2 jurisdictions, Maine and state of record. B. Must not exceed 2 convictions for certain convictions such as following too closely and reckless driving. C. For at least 3 years, veteran must have operated a CDL of the same type and class as the license applied for. D. Military employment must have occurred within the last year. The correct answer is D. Explanation: in order to get a waiver for your driving test, you can only have 1 license, have one of certain types of convictions, and none of certain others, must have driven the same type of vehicle for at least 2 years, and must have been active duty within the past year. Question 265. How many previous years of your driving record will you required to provide information about to the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration when applying for your CDL? Answers: A. 1 year. B. 2 years. C. 5 years. D. 10 years. The correct answer is D. Explanation: you will be required to provide information about the previous 10 years of your driving history, including license numbers, addresses, and state licenses, so that the Motor Vehicle Administration can ensure there is nothing in your driving history that would disqualify you from CDL driving privileges. Question 266. If you have a first conviction for operating your personal vehicle during a felony involving transporting, distributing, or manufacturing controlled substances, for how long will you lose your CDL? Answers: A. Life. B. 10 years minimum. C. 5 years minimum. D. 1 year minimum. The correct answer is A. Explanation: there is absolutely zero tolerance for CDL drivers who use any vehicle in the commission of a felony that involves the movement or making of controlled substances. Regardless of the vehicle driven, you will lose your CDL privileges for life. Times are tough, but no matter what the pay, don't move cargo for bad people. If you are threatened, go to law enforcement. Question 267. Which of the following is a good thing to remember about using mirrors? Answers: A. There are blind spots they cannot show you. B. Check them twice for a lane change. C. Convex mirrors make things look larger and closer than they are. D. You should look at your mirrors several times a second. The correct answer is A. Explanation: when using your mirrors, it is important to remember that you still may not get a complete view of the situation. Question 268. Which of the following is not a good thing to do when you are driving on slippery roads? Answers: A. Use your retarder or engine brake. B. Keep traffic out of your side space. C. Make necessary turns as gently as you can. D. Use a light touch on both brake pedals and the accelerator. The correct answer is A. Explanation: applying retarders or your brakes may cause you to lose control on a slippery surface because your wheels will have less traction. Make sure your retarder is turned off and you apply the brakes cautiously. Question 269. If you experience a hazardous materials emergency, you should. Answers: A. Prevent smoking and keep open flame away. B. All of the above. C. Warn others of the danger of it. D. Keep people away from it. The correct answer is B. Explanation: when you experience an accident with hazardous materials, you should try to keep people from the scene, communicate the danger to others, in particular emergency services personnel, and try to stop the spread of the problem, such as using a fire extinguisher to keep open flame away, if safe to do so. Question 270. The locking jaws should close around this section of the kingpin. Is it the? Answers: A. Shank. B. Does not matter. C. Base. D. Head. The correct answer is A. Explanation: you want to make sure that you latch around the shank, as you will not have a proper, secure connection if you lock on any other portion. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 271. According to Minnesota law, you may not consume alcohol for how many hours before you go on duty? Answers: A. 6 hours. B. 4 hours. C. 8 hours. D. 12 hours. The correct answer is B. Explanation: CDL laws in Minnesota state that you may not consume alcohol within 4 hours of going on duty as a CMV driver. Question 272. How many red reflective triangles must you carry with you for emergencies? Answers: A. 2. B. 5. C. 3. D. Depends if your truck is less than 30 feet. The correct answer is C. Explanation: in your safety equipment, you must include 3 reflective red triangles, or 6 fusees, or 3 liquid burning flares. You are not exempt if your truck is shorter, as long as it is a commercial vehicle, and you may be required to have extra safety devices for longer loads. Question 273. In which, if any, of these situations is a farm truck driver exempt from needing a CDL in Minnesota? Answers: A. If the driver is the farmer. B. If the driver is an employee of the farmer, not contracted strictly to drive commercial vehicles. C. All of the above. D. If the driver is an immediate family member of the farmer. The correct answer is C. Explanation: there are several situations in which a farm truck driver does not need a CDL. Consult the Minnesota Department of Public Safety for a complete list. Question 274. The minimum safe tread depth for other tires besides front tires is? Answers: A. 1 inch. B. 8/32 inch. C. 4/32 inch. D. 2/32 inch. The correct answer is D. Explanation: you should have 2/32 inch tread depth on all major tires before beginning a trip, except the front tires, which should have 4/32 inch depth. If you do not have that depth, your tires have too much wear and need to be replaced for safer driving. Question 275. What is the most important and obvious reason to perform a pre-trip vehicle inspection? Answers: A. Make sure your paint is not chipped. B. Safety. C. If your vehicle needs a wash. D. Employer liability. The correct answer is B. Explanation: safety is the most important thing. Inspections can help you avoid costly and dangerous breakdowns and collisions. Federal and state inspectors will check your vehicle, so you must make sure it's safe before they put you out of service for violations. Question 276. Which of the following is not included in your CDL Basic Control Skills Test in the state of Minnesota? Answers: A. An offset backing exercise. B. An alley dock exercise. C. A straight backing exercise. D. An offset steep downgrade backing exercise. The correct answer is D. Explanation: the examiner will ask you to back your vehicle in a straight line, offset to the right or left, and to simulate backing the vehicle into an alley, but you will not be asked to simulate backing your vehicle on a steep downgrade, nor is this recommended in real life. Question 277. Which of the following is or parts of the suspension system? Answers: A. Pitman arm. B. Bearing plates. C. Lock rings. D. All of the above. The correct answer is B. Explanation. Bearing plates are part of the suspension system that becomes worn from driving over bumps, along with springs. The pitman arm is part of your steering system, while lock rings are important for keeping your wheels safe. Question 278. Which of the following is our reasons to back toward the driver's side? Answers. A. You can see better watching the vehicle rear out the side window. B. Your truck will probably pull to the right. C. There are always more obstacles on the right. D. All of the above. The correct answer is A. Explanation. You should always turn and back toward the driver's side, even if it means you must go around the block to be in the correct position, because you will be able to see much more easily, and this allows you to back more safely and avoid serious accidents. If your truck pulls to the right, you need to see a mechanic, and obstacles will always be present on both sides of the road, so you need the best view possible. Question 279. Which of the following should you check during your trip? Answers. A. All of the above. B. Cargo covers. C. Mirrors. D. Pressure gauges. The correct answer is A. Explanation. There are several things that you should be watching during your trip, including your gauges, instruments, lights, tires, mirrors, and keeping an eye on your cargo and its security, if that means a cover or not. Pay attention other senses besides sight, such as hearing and smell, for any sign of trouble. Question 280. Which of these is a serious traffic violation that will disqualify you from a commercial vehicle? Answers. A. Excessive speeding, 15 miles per hour or more faster than posted limit. B. Listening to your music too loudly. C. Tailgating. D. All of the above. The correct answer is A. Explanation. While playing music too loudly could cause distractions and tailgating can lead to accidents, only excessive speeding is a serious traffic violation, which can disqualify you from driving a commercial vehicle. Committing 2 serious traffic violations within a 3-year period will cause you to lose your CDL for at least 60 days. 3 or more such violations in a 3-year period will cause you to lose your CDL for at least 120 days. Question 281. What is the punishment for driving a CMV without a CDL? Answers. A. Up to $2,000 fine and mandatory jail time. B. Up to $5,000 fine and possible jail time. C. Up to $5,000 fine or possible jail time. D. Minimum $5,000 fine and possible jail time. The correct answer is C. Explanation. It is important that you get a CDL if you intend to drive a commercial vehicle. Fines are stiff, and you face possible jail time for driving a commercial vehicle or hazardous materials without one. Question 282. How long will you lose your CDL privileges in the state of Missouri if you are convicted of a second DUI offense while driving your CMV? Answers. A. Life. B. Minimum 2 years. C. Minimum 3 years. D. minimum 1 year. The correct answer is A. Explanation: if you are convicted of DUI while driving your CMV a second time, you will lose your CDL privileges for life and will no longer be able to be a professional driver. Question 283. Under which of the following situations will you not lose your hazardous materials endorsement in the state of Missouri? Answers: A. You are not a lawful, permanent resident of the United States. B. You have unpaid parking tickets. C. You are convicted of certain felonies in military court. D. You are wanted for certain felonies. The correct answer is B. Explanation: while you should be careful about not paying your tickets, since such a situation can lead to a more serious offense, unpaid tickets on their own will not make you lose your hazardous materials endorsement, like the other issues listed. Question 284. Which of the following is required for a hazardous materials endorsement in Montana? Answers: A. All of the above. B. SAW security threat assessment. C. Tax returns for previous 5 years. D. 2 personal references. The correct answer is B. Explanation: if you are attempting to renew your hazardous materials endorsement, transfer it from another state, or add it to your CDL, you must get a full SAW security threat assessment, which includes filling out an application, giving SAW time to complete the check, and having your fingerprints taken. You can check the Montana Department of Justice for SAW locations to complete these requirements. Question 285. Which of the following is considered a serious violation that could affect your CDL privileges? Answers: A. Parking tickets. B. All of the above. C. Texting while driving. D. Petty theft. The correct answer is C. Explanation: in the state of Nevada, texting while driving is added to the list of serious violations which can affect your CDL privileges, minimum 60-day suspension, if 2 such violations in a 3-year period. Put the phone down until you reach your destination, or do it hands-free. Question 286. Which of the following must you be certified as having on an Eyesight test prior to applying for your initial CDL or renewal? Answers: A. 20/60ths vision. B. 20/20ths vision. C. 20/40ths vision. D. 20/10ths vision. The correct answer is C. Explanation: in the state of New Hampshire, you are required to pass a vision test with 20/40ths vision and bring certification of it to your CDL exam. If you cannot pass such a test, then you will a restriction on your license for corrective lenses. Question 287. Why should you keep any hazardous material shipping paper on view in the cab at all times? Answers: A. So that you can easily find it at the end of your journey. B. So you remember what you're hauling. C. So emergency services can easily find it. D. To make sure you don't lose it. The correct answer is C. Explanation: always have hazmat shipping papers in plain view, even when you're not in the vehicle. If there is an accident and you are unconscious, emergency services will need to know exactly what is in your load. Even if away from the truck, for example eating, Leave the paperwork somewhere easily accessible in case there should be an incident. Question 288. Which of the following are you not required to have with you when you apply for your first-time or renewal CDL? Answers: A. Social Security card. B. A valid New Mexico driver's license, if first time, or CDL license, if renewal. C. 2 verifiable forms of proof of New Mexico residency. D. Passport. The correct answer is D. Explanation: New Mexico has very stringent rules for the documents you must have when you apply for your initial CDL or renewal, including proof of lawful U.S. residency, 2 forms of proof of New Mexico residency, your Social Security card, a driver's license, and your DOT medical certification. Without these, you'll have to come back another day. A passport may qualify as one form of identification, but you'll have to check to make sure. Question 289. In what circumstances should you reject tires? Answers: A. If there are any cuts in the tire. B. If the valve stem is cracked. C. If you can see any fabric through the sidewall. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation: Your tires are your main point of communication with the road. Any faults could lead to catastrophic consequences. Under no circumstances should you accept below-par tires. Question 290. What color should your side marker lights be? Answers: A. All amber. B. Red at rear, others amber. C. All red. D. Red at front, others amber. The correct answer is B. Explanation: Amber lights at the front and red at the rear means other road users will be able to see which way you are pointing. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 291. If, within a 3-year period, you are handed a second conviction for violating railroad crossing regulations, what will your punishment be? Answers: A. 1-year disqualification. B. 120-day disqualification. C. $100 fine. D. 60-day disqualification. The correct answer is B. Explanation: Your first violation of railroad crossing regulations will earn a 60-day disqualification, your second, within a 3-year period, a 120-day disqualification, and your third will disqualify you for a year. Question 292. You need to be the following to obtain a hazardous materials endorsement. Answers: A. A United States citizen. B. All of the above. C. A lawful permanent resident of the United States. D. A commercial driver's license. The correct answer is B. Explanation: If you are not a legal resident, renounce your citizenship, or are wanted under indictment for certain felonies, your hazmat endorsement will be denied or revoked. Question 293. Which of these is a situation where you need to pay special attention to the space below your vehicle? Answers: A. Railroad tracks. B. An unpaved yard. C. All of the above. D. A dirt road. The correct answer is C. Explanation. Railroad tracks can stick up several inches above the surface. If you are not aware of your clearance, you may get caught on them. Not only is this dangerous, but you will also be punished for your carelessness with a suspension. Dirt roads and unpaved yards also present chances to get stuck. Question 294. Which of these offenses will result in your losing your CDL for at least 1 year? Answers. A. Driving any vehicle under the influence of a controlled substance. B. Refusing to undergo blood alcohol testing. C. All of the above. D. Committing a felony involving the use of a vehicle. The correct answer is C. Explanation. Any of these offenses will cause you to lose your CDL for at least 1 year, 3 if committed whilst driving a CMV placarded for hazardous materials. Conviction for any of these offenses for a second time will result in disqualification for life. Question 295. When signaling a turn, you should. Answers. A. Make sure you cancel your signal. B. All of the above. C. Signal early. D. Signal continuously. The correct answer is B. Explanation. When you're making a turn, let other drivers know early. Keep signaling all through your turn so they don't assume you've finished. Always remember to cancel your signal after the turn if you don't have self-canceling indicators. Question 296. Which of these is vital in a fire extinguisher? Answers. A. That it is properly charged. B. That you know how to use it before the fire. C. All of the above. D. That it is of the right type to deal with your cargo. The correct answer is C. Explanation. You must always check that a fire extinguisher is suitable for your cargo. Some are only meant to deal with electrical and liquid fires, while others are for paper, wood, etc. Keep it in an accessible place, usually in your cab. Nearly all fire extinguishers will have a protective seal put on them. When new or when refilled, make sure this is present. Question 297. When descending a long downgrade, what is the safe speed? Answers. A. The posted limit for that road. B. Whatever speed other vehicles are using, not above the posted limit. C. The minimum speed you should employ. D. Your chosen maximum speed, not above the posted limit. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Your safe speed on a downgrade is the one you have chosen as your maximum. You should gently brake to 5 miles an hour below it, then gradually let the speed build up. When you reach your safe speed, brake again and repeat throughout the downgrade. Question 298. You have 2 tie-downs on a 17-foot load. How many more do you need to adhere to regulations? Answers. A. 2. B. 3. C. 1. D. None. The correct answer is D. Explanation. The minimum number of tie-downs is 2. In addition, you must make sure that you have 1 for every 10 feet of load. In this instance, 2 is acceptable. However, you should make sure they are sufficient and add extra if necessary. Question 299. What parts of the bus interior must you check prior to driving? Answers: A. All of the above. B. Floor coverings. C. Restroom emergency buzzers. D. Handholds and railings. The correct answer is A. Explanation: sometimes people damage unattended buses. Make sure your passengers don't trip, fall, and aren't left unable to call for help by checking the bus interior every time you drive it. Question 300. What distance from a fire should you be when using an extinguisher? Answers: A. As close as possible without getting burnt. B. As far away as possible. C. Off to one side or the other. D. At whatever distance you decide is safe. The correct answer is B. Explanation: your first priority in a fire is your safety and that of others. If you feel that you can't get close enough to use the extinguisher effectively, then don't do it. Even if you do feel safe, don't get closer than you have to.